Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Rant Bollox. We're doing a lovely commentary for you today. It's it's good old Justice League. Good old Justice League. I feel like, I mean, you said it, Paul. Like we need a rant, you know, and
Yep.
we're feeling a little bit mixed about this one, but we'll get into it and we'll start playing this and we'll chat through it. We'll have a good old chin wag, won't we?
Yep.
So
All right. So whatever copy we have, we're ready to go.
yeah, so basically on our copy, we're seeing the Warner Brothers picture. So I'm going to go 3, 2, 1, play. So we're at the Warner Brothers. It's just rested, and you can see the full logo. And then from there,
Black.
we're black. So, and that's the movie. So,
And it's over. Good,
And
good,
it's over.
good commentary.
we're seeing the Access Entertainment here. Yeah, we wanted to do, like, we love doing the commentaries. We just did Infinity War, and we're going to look forward to doing Endgame. But DC's very important. We've got to do that.
We can't forget there's competition out there.
Oh, yeah.
This is their version of Endgame. It's after 3 movies. They finally decide to do their team-up movie.
They did a team-up movie where 2 of the characters haven't even had a movie yet. Aquaman has now, but,
Uh-oh.
you know.
We're already into it. I forgot about this. The mustache affair.
Oh, the mustache affair.
Look at his face. I never really noticed it in the cinema.
I know. He's got like a little
was-
bulge thing going on.
I just love that somebody over... Yeah, for people who don't know, I'm sure everybody's watching this with us knows. He has a mustache at this point in time because he's filming Mission Impossible Ghost... Or not Ghost Protocol, but Fallout.
Yeah.
And Paramount said, no, he's not shaving it. And they're like, yeah, but we need him for some reshoots.
Yeah.
No, he's not shaving it. So they have to digitally remove his mustache.
You can tell by his face here. It's like it's
Oh,
it's,
yeah,
diff-
it's-
it's definitely different for sure. Now I'm not
It's
sure.
so weird.
I'm not sure if like your average Joe will notice it, but as soon as someone tells you, you can't unsee it, can you?
No, it's the uncanny mustache valley.
I'm cracking a beer here, guys, because it's the type of film
You need to.
where you need one.
So the other thing with this movie that we know is that it was Zack Snyder film, but he dropped out midway through it, or at some point he had to, maybe it was in editing or whatever.
Yeah.
And then they brought in Joss Whedon, who famously did bring the Avengers together for Marvel.
Sure. Yeah.
And everyone's now like, when are we going to see Zack Snyder's cut of the film? Where's the Snyder cut? It's like, you think it's that much better? You think he's suddenly going to have this, Citizen Kane version of this movie coming out?
I know. There's no better version, guys. This is it.
Yeah.
You're watching it right now.
And I know people can then be like, well, he didn't make that scene, or it's not the way the director wanted. It's like, look, this film is a wreck from start to finish.
This right here. Yeah, I haven't seen it for a while, so I'm just reminding myself about this film. But
Tench has
what-
lost his FBI
there is
credentials.
Yeah, this is definitely capturing like that Gotham feel. Like DC definitely do have a look about their films, and it's like that dark grainy kind of look, and I guess they're pulling that off. So whereas like
But
Marvel
the
seems
thing-
to have like a bit of a brighter look to it, but yeah.
Yeah, like you can definitely see the Marvel influence here. The thing I don't understand any of this now that I think back in it. Why is there a parademon in Gotham?
Yeah, what is going on? Like,
Yeah, like they don't explain what these things really are or what they're going on. A parademon is one of the soldiers of Darkseid who's not the guy in this movie, because that would make too much sense. But I shouldn't just shit on it straight away, but like this is why Marvel's movies should just be copied. Like, this is something we've never seen before in any DC movie, and now we're trying to figure out what's going on and why is Batman fighting it and why is he using a criminal as bait. And
Yeah.
it's just like, what?
and we've seen these creatures before in
Oh yeah, we saw them in
previous-
the Nightmare. Yeah,
Yeah, in the Nightmare. Yeah, that's right.
the future Nightmare. Oh, Ben Affleck. He
Oh,
got
dear.
screwed.
He did. This is the thing. Is like we've got Ben Affleck and we've got Cavill that plays Superman, and both great characters, both great actors. But I think just wrong place, wrong time.
Why does the monster who kills himself, end up creating something on the wall when he dies? He's like the worst spy ever.
Yeah, he's just like, ooh.
Oh, I'm matching these to the other sightings. What are you talking about? And why is the criminal that Batman was literally just trying to
he's now fine. He's just like he's just waiting there.
I've given up my life battling crime and I'm gonna leave now.
Superman's gone.
Yeah, stop stealing shit. I don't understand that scene. Was he faking it? And if he was faking it, why did he have to make him have real fear to attract the parademon?
Yeah.
And why in a city that's famous for being a shithole would the parademon go for that one scared guy on the rooftop? Oh, that's a bit of a callback right there.
This kind of thing here, Morning Superman, like, sure, they got the music playing. It's okay. I don't have a problem with it, but
you can understand where they're coming from with it, but this film it's like a handbrake turn of a film. They had this idea for what they were doing with DC. It's like, all right, we're doing Man of Steel. It's all right, Zach. What do you want to do now?
Yeah.
Batman v Superman. Sure thing. You go for it. And then there's like, no, Wonder Woman was fun. Let's go that way.
Yeah. And they actually added Wonder Woman in like more scenes, didn't they, to this? Just because she's so popular.
This whole thing was just between. Oh, actually, you got to pay attention to here with the credits coming up. Joss Whedon's credit because he gets credit as director, even though it's a Zack Snyder film or like assistant.
Right.
Look at when it comes up on screen when he puts his name up.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, just keep an eye out for when his name comes up on the screen.
That's a little sad. The Kent house.
I know.
That's not nice.
You think maybe Bruce would have taken care of that before the end of this movie? And they got to mention that David Bowie and Prince both died as well.
Oh, God.
Just kick you when you're down.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the main problems with this film when you're watching. It's just like, what's the tone?
Yes.
Like, where are you going with it?
Yeah.
And that could be down to Joss Whedon did some of it and Zack Snyder did some of it.
Yeah, it could be a crossover.
Get people into it. But I don't understand how you make a Justice League movie that makes less money than Aquaman on his own.
Yeah, that's true.
It's just so weird. So here's a little homeless guy with his dog.
Yeah.
Screenplay by Chris Terrio.
I tried.
Yep. And that's right after you see the Joss Whedon's screenplay credit. If you watched it, goes screenplay by Chris Terrio and Joss Whedon. Then it goes, I tried. Wow, that's funny. I never even noticed that. Yeah. So it is credited as Zack Snyder's film. But
okay.
A lot of this is reshot by Joss.
Interesting. That's cool. I kind of like that little Easter egg.
Which makes sense though. Like he made Avengers. So Avengers was 3 movies. It was Iron Man, Captain America, Thor.
Yeah.
And in order like that. Then they made Avengers. And then I guess DC thought they were ready for an Avengers of their own because they had Man of Steel, which isn't really a movie. Well, Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman.
Under pressure, obviously, But yeah, they did have those 3 films, and then they thought, we'll roll in these. But 2 of the characters in here didn't have their own films, but people know Flash, I think, quite well because it's a TV series. But people are unfamiliar with Aquaman.
And Cyborg.
And Cyborg. Yeah, of course. Yeah.
And before, I think it was right around the time it was right when this movie was coming out. They're like, all right, here's our future slate. They were doing the Disney thing, the Marvel things. Like, here's what's coming out in 2020, 2022. They're all canceled. All of them are canceled.
Yeah, I know. It's just nuts.
There's Wonder Woman 2.
Got her
and
theme
there's
tune coming
Aquaman 2, I think.
Now,
it's just not put together well. And I don't say that like, oh, Marvel's the greatest thing ever. They did everything right. Marvel didn't. Like in Iron Man 1, Captain America doesn't exist. By Iron Man 2, he's like, oh, my dad was always talking about Captain America. In Iron Man 2, he doesn't even know Captain America's shield.
Yeah.
But by the time he's in Avengers, he's like, my dad would never shut up talking about how he knew you. But it's like, And I watched all of them before Endgame, so it's kind of like you can see where they're filling in holes and
Sure.
where there was clear problems. But with this universe, it just doesn't work at all. At the very least, in uh, Avengers, what they did is Loki was the bad guy, and Loki had been introduced in Thor,
Right.
and it was tied into his story. And then Thanos was like the overarching kind of guy, but at least there was something connected to it.
Yes. Yeah.
But in this, you just get a big CGI idiot.
That's what it is, man. It's like, yeah, I'm just watching it now. It's just like, yeah, you can tell they put in these scenes as well because her film sold well. So like, we need more Wonder Woman because I know they shot some extra ones. So
Yeah. Well, all you got to do with any film, like this is the basic rule for, is a film good? It's like, does this scene have anything to do with anything else in the movie?
yes, exactly. And this is just generic, like introducing the character again, basically.
Yeah.
Just showing her
Which
powers
is-
off.
Yeah. It's a big problem I had with Man of Steel was, or not Man of Steel, with Batman, Superman, obviously, was they would just show stuff that had no purpose.
Mm.
And then they'd try and make it have a purpose, and it just create this weird connection.
Is she
It's like,
supposed to
Lex-
be faster than bullets, by the way? Because she is there.
Yeah, she is, because she, in the comics, her move is she blocks it with her
I know she
bracelets.
blocks it. I just didn't know she moved as fast as bullets like Superman. Because that's basically what she did there. So just trying to find anything, man. anything to.
They
bash
kind of
this.
changed their powers
So-
throughout the years, so
Right.
sort of like she was a little bit like a fighter or whatever, and then as it progressed, she kind of came like an equal to Superman,
Mm.
which is not quite at that level.
This is Asgard.
Oh, yeah, this is the Asgard.
This is the Asgard. So he's off looking for. He knows Aquaman because Luthor had a video and with those logos on a USB stick, and he's seen footage, hasn't he?
So, does everybody in that town have to get in and out of that town by horse?
Yeah, because this
Like,
guy's.
is that the only way to get to
this
that
guy's
town,
rich.
which is a fishing town?
You'd think he'd take his helicopter straight there, but he fancied a hike.
I would assume a town that does a lot of fishing would have access by boat, for example.
Mm.
I'm pretty sure Bruce Wayne has a boat. It's just another one of those things that looks cool,
Yeah.
but doesn't make sense.
Yeah, you are right. When you analyze it and break it down, it's just like, yeah, why is he walking on this ridge? And it overlooks the town. It looks cool, but
Yeah.
like you're just doing it for the Hollywood.
That's what we're here for, just to be pricks.
Mm.
The Justice Pricks of Canada.
Now we love Batman and we love Superman, and I love the
Yes.
Aquaman films. So there's something here. It's just they made a pig's meal of it.
You do love the Aquaman films. You got that tattoo and everything after. You're such
Yeah,
a fan.
you know. And then I did
All over your chest.
I did the
Big, huge
eyebrow,
thing.
shaved my eyebrow just like he has.
Yeah.
You know,
I think you went a bit too far, to be honest. But, you're a father now. You
it's
can do
up
what you want.
up for debate.
So, I haven't seen the Aquaman movie. It obviously takes place after this movie, but is this kind of world that he's in, is that ever touched on again in that movie?
In here, not as much. They don't really show. They don't show it too much. No, it's him and his dad, and like a couple of bar scenes where he's back in this village. But more of it is Atlantis and everywhere else. So
Is there a reason he's up in? I'm guessing it's like Norway or Finland or something.
yeah, it's like it's just basically where his dad grows up, kind of thing. And his dad owns and operates a lighthouse, so that's why he's up here. So
He just called him Batman in front of two people.
he's giving his identity away, and then he just goes straight.
I
in.
get.
This is
Maybe
that.
it's like everyone in the village is terrified of him. It's like, we can never piss off Aquaman.
I think
He'll
so.
kill you.
I think so, man. I think that's kind of what's happening here. People are just
Yeah.
like, stay clear.
He's not a nice guy at all. He rules this town with an iron fist. It's like, oh, you're gonna give my secret away? You're gonna get eaten by a crab.
This is also weird. Like, I don't know. I just feel like he would just run and jump in the water, but he's kind of just like doing the James Bond, body. Just walk slowly in. Like they just wanted to get this like Hollywood Jason. Yeah, that shot there. They just want this shot.
Yeah, they need that shot, and then that one's green screen. It's like, oh, we do that 3 weeks later.
Yeah, that was actually quite lame the way he just went back there as well. That was
But
not.
that's what I mean.
Yeah.
You can see the like screw up of like not the screw up, but there's one shot that's wide, that's clearly shot nice out there, and then the other one's close up green screen.
Yeah.
That one was the reshoot.
Yeah, that's
We're
right.
adding these lines in.
Yeah.
Like, why does Aquaman know what the boxes are? I thought he was like an idiot who's never part of this world. Oh well. Worst that can happen is they're gonna make a sequel.
I honestly,
Well, they can't.
they can't because
Batman.
half the
Batman's
actors
gone.
are gone. Yeah.
Superman's gone.
The two main dudes are just gone.
Yeah. But like you said, we're big Batman fans. We're big Superman fans.
Always been a massive Superman fan, and I really like
Yeah.
Henry Cavill as well.
Yeah,
Just-
I think he's great.
I just think
He was really good in that Mission Impossible movie. Maybe they should just leave Superman with a mustache. Maybe that's the secret.
that would have been hilarious. Just keep it in there. No one like why,
Just out of nowhere.
why has he got a mustache at the beginning but not at the end?
Oh, I should probably say as we go through this, we have seen it Endgame like a week ago.
Yes,
So if we drop any spoilers, we're sorry.
that's true. That's true. The end game, apparently, the spoiler embargo or whatever is over on Monday as well, so you'll probably be seeing a lot more anyway.
Can you believe what happened?
So this is where he's tried to recruit him, kind of thing. Now he's going back, and are they talking about Wonder Woman here? Well, they're just. Oh no, he's going for Cyborg now.
Yeah, and it's
Cyborg's dad
It's-
is the guy from Terminator 2 as well, isn't it?
Miles Dyson.
That's kind of cool, just like a Terminator type figure.
What I'm wondering with all this is, like, how far into the movie are we now? We're like 20 minutes, 15
Yeah,
minutes
we're
in.
a good chunk in, man.
And like nothing's happened.
No, I mean,
If you want to copy Avengers or not Avengers Endgame, original Avengers, like the first scene in that movie is Loki taking the scepter and the cube and blowing up this shield base.
that's right. Yeah.
Here we have
This-
Batman fighting some weird bug on a roof.
Well, this is the issue that they've had with this film is because they need to introduce Flash, Cyborg, and Aquaman because no one's seen those films, and they need to make people care about that as well. Whereas Avengers, we've already seen those separate films, we're already invested in the characters, so you only have to show them for 5-10 minutes, and then we're okay, or 5 minutes. Whereas here, we really need to get at least 10 minutes, 15 minutes of screen time with all of those characters to care. And I believe I remember Flash is the only one that I really connected with. The other two, Cyborg not at all, and Aquaman I don't think really came through in this. But Flash and him and his dad here, like these kind of scenes, helped a little.
Yeah. Well, here, like, they're jumping, not that they did it badly, but it's, you got a scene that shows Flash as a funny guy. He's the character that's going to make the jokes. And then you got this scene about, oh, Dad, I'm sorry you're in prison because you killed Mom, but you didn't kill Mom. And, I'm going to try and get you out of here. I know, I love you, son. It's like, that's a lot to cram in.
It is.
And again,
it is, yeah.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't affect the rest of the movie.
No.
That's like the first, where are we now? Like I said, 20 minutes in. There's the scene with the parademon, which makes no sense. And there's a scene with them talking about what Aquaman kind of half told them. And that's kind of getting you to where you're supposed to be.
Yeah.
But we're 20 minutes in and nothing has happened in terms of who's the bad guy, what are they up against, why are they coming together.
Yeah. And they're up against the clock. It's a 2-hour film, so now they've got an hour and a half left, to show.
Yeah.
And this is supposed to be epic. This is supposed to be the equivalent of Avengers,
Yeah, like I'm not going to compare it to an Endgame
No.
or an Infinity War.
It's the equivalent.
That's too far
it's
down
the
the
equivalent
line.
of the first Avenger film, really.
Exactly, and that's why I keep going back to it. And that was directed by Joss Whedon.
Yeah, just
On the plus side, just drink, get a beer, have some whiskey.
have some whiskey. Yeah, that's how this all started off. This did all start off with Batman vs Superman. So now, is this a better film than Batman vs Superman?
Oh, that's a tough call.
I know. I was trying to think to myself. I think it is, but
If I had to sit
But,
down
yeah.
and watch one again, it would be this over Batman v Superman.
yeah.
But that's like asking me, do I want to get hit in the head with a brick or a slightly smaller brick?
Exactly. I also did not enjoy Lex Luthor, like in Batman vs
No.
Superman. I just didn't like that dynamic whatsoever.
Like, that's the thing about... I haven't watched this movie since I saw it in the cinema.
Yeah. Good lord, you
It's just...
saw it in a cinema.
I know.
Oh,
Look,
I think I remember. You were raging just even before you got in there.
Yeah, I was like, fuck this.
Why have
Fuck this movie. It's
why
going to
have
be
I
a
paid
shit
for it?
show. I think it's because it's so... bleh. It's just bleh.
Let us know in the comments as well, guys, like how you feel, because I know there's going to be a lot of fans out there as well, and there's a lot of haters, and we're not purposely trying to hate on the film. We're having a laugh because we don't enjoy the film, but we're still gonna take it in, and like Paul analyzes films big time, so he'll point out like why, like at least we're giving you reasons why we don't like it. We're not just saying, oh, that's dumb, you know. But do let us know in the comments like what your thoughts are as well.
Well, like, here's a reason now. We're 20 minutes in and we've had 4 different storylines that don't connect. The Parademon and Batman, Aquaman being a prick, Cyborg now and his dad, and Barry and his dad. And you're just like, where are we going?
Yeah, because we're gonna be at least 45 minutes before we even see Steppenwolf, isn't it? Steppenwolf.
Yes. Jesus, is that how long it is?
And he's a bad guy.
Yeah. Have you got some like statistics or facts or something to help people get through this mess?
I'm gonna look some up. I should have looked some up before, but I just thought I'd just run into this blind.
Like, even this scene here where we're being introduced to Cyborg and what he can or can't do, it's not interesting to me.
Yes, I know. That's why we're kind of
like
talking over it, because we just don't really care.
Yeah, it's in his apartment and his hoodie, and they're talking about how last night he had this accident or whatever, and it happened before. It's like, well, show that part.
Yeah, actually show the thing.
Link the scenes together. I think, for me, that's one of the biggest issues with Batman Superman is they made that movie like 2.5 hours where it didn't need to be. If you just condense things, combine things, you can do a lot more in a lot less time.
Extensive reshoots in London and Los Angeles in mid 2017. It added 25 million to the budget. Those reshoots.
Not surprised. This is all CG.
Yeah, so we know this
Amazon
place. Yeah, we know this place from Wonder Woman, and I thought they did a good job in Wonder Woman with showing this place off and some of the characters. So I recognize her mom, and then the woman that trained her as well is in this, isn't it? Those characters,
yes,
those characters are cool, and they portrayed like these Amazons are powerful, like these are powerful beings. So this came off fine for me. They're obviously they've been looking after this. What is this cube thing?
Good question, Al. That's a real good question.
But it's starting to kind of react or something, isn't it?
There's 3 cubes. They explain it later, but there's 3 cubes on Earth, and then if you put them together, they can change the planet.
So this is the thing. Why is this happening right now like this? Like, we know Thanos, he's always been around, and he's just getting stronger. But what is going on right now? Like, why did this happen?
Good question.
Yeah. we're gonna get a lot of that, aren't we? So
I'm gonna really pay attention when they're explaining the stones things or the cube things, the cubes, because it's like, why are all 3 of them on Earth?
Yeah.
Why is this creature from another world? Why was it put here? Because we know in this universe the Green Lanterns exist, and it's like, this seems like a galactic problem. Anyway, here we are watching the latest episode of Uncharted 5.
Uncharted 5. The other thing that worried me was his CG was not done very well, and I think it actually put the fear into a lot of people with Avengers, thinking that Thanos was going to be the same. But nah, complete night and day. Like, this guy is just completely CG. There's no, I don't think he was based off anyone. It's just a CGI model.
And yeah, I can't remember, but I can't think if he was a motion capture guy like Thanos, like Josh Brolin.
That's what I was wondering. Yeah.
He looks like he's not.
Yeah,
It's
he
kind
looks
of,
a little bit too kind of
but he's
computery.
yeah. To be fair to the Amazons, like this looks cool, but this is all Zack Schneidery slow mo bullshit.
Yeah, I
You
know.
think there'd be a better way of locking the doors than nearly having to than having to kill yourself?
I know. I know. It's like knock
We gotta
away all
smash
the
these with
folks.
a hammer. It's like what? You've been ready for this
For
for
so long.
thousands of years.
Yeah.
I will just drop rocks on him. I mean, to be fair, like one of the problems I had with Wonder Woman was when the Germans did land on the beach. Spoiler for Wonder Woman, they just shot them.
Yeah,
They
that's
weren't
right.
bulletproof or anything.
That's right.
They're
Yeah.
fighting with arrows and stuff. It's like you girls have been training for thousands of years to be the greatest warriors in the world. Too bad you can't beat a bunch of kids with guns. This scene, like this, feels like a Zack Schneider scene.
Yeah, there's something just it's like you said. There's a lot of slowdown. There's a lot of sliding, cool kind of action shots. But
Yeah, but it's also heavy on the CG, so it's like this could have been done at any time.
yeah,
There's
yeah.
a slow mo,
There's
slow
your
mo.
slow mo. Yeah,
Yeah, he just has a thing with the slow mo where he doesn't quite use it. He uses it well sometimes, and other times he just uses it because he can. And you're like, what's your style? What are you going for here with this?
yeah,
Are you trying to make the violence look cool, or are you trying to make it look painful? I'm never quite sure where he falls on that. Like if you watch something like Watchmen, and
yeah.
that he puts like the violence in slow mo, and it's like, okay, you're trying to show violence is terrible or violence is cool,
Right.
because you can't quite have both of them at the same time.
Oh, the horse
Anyway,
has broken your legs.
what you get instead of building for cars and trains?
Uh, uh, you know what just happened? Now? They're still shooting bow and arrows at her. Like Oh, here we go.
There you go. There's your Lord of the Rings moment.
Yeah.
That is bad CG.
I just realised that's like a bit of a Thanos kind of tunnel there, isn't it?
Yeah, the boob tube.
Yeah.
Boom tube. I just don't get who decided to pick a CG bad guy for this.
Yeah,
Warner
I know.
Brothers probably.
That definitely let the film down. I think if it was more of a realistic or just a human with CGI parts or something, it would have helped the movie. But he's such a forgettable bad guy, and that's awful when you've got a big movie and the bad guy needs to be, like Thanos. Everyone fears him. There are people that haven't even seen Avengers know who Thanos is, but no one.
I guess
knows
it's
who
also
Steppenwolf is.
Yeah, but it's also shitty because when you think of bad guys for DC movies, you're always going to think the Joker in the Batman movies. It's like you can't do better than that. Just CG Heath Ledger back into it.
This is their thing. This is like their Captain Marvel like little beacon. Like we need help.
Yeah,
that's their equivalent, I guess.
So here she is. She's in Paris. She's in the Louvre, and then she makes a joke that she didn't do anything interesting because she was saving all those people from the hostages. It's a good moment for her if this was her movie, but it's bad for this movie because it doesn't affect anything.
Yeah.
And just like, how does she learn that? Oh, there's a TV.
Something on TV.
Zack Schneider loves his telling everybody shit through TVs rather than stories.
Yeah. It's almost half an hour through, and we've got the bad guy introduced. So half an hour.
But on the plus side, there's more random characters to introduce.
I know, because they need to all meet each other and kind of bond. But we've still got to bring Superman, but Superman's like a bit later, I can understand.
The Superman thing, before we get to it, the other problem with this movie, in terms of, you look at an Avengers, you look at any movie, like, whose story is this movie about? From start to finish.
Right.
Like, there's always like one character that you're following.
Yeah.
And if you look at Avengers, even though all the Avengers are in it, the first Avengers is generally Tony and Captain America.
Right.
That's the story. It's those two guys back and forth. And then to introduce the new character, you have Hawkeye. He's the new character, gets introduced, and he gets introduced in a way where he's kind of working for the bad guys, and he can give people a little bit of comic relief, but he also, because he's working with the bad guy, you get to see the bad guy's world without it feeling weird.
Mm.
But in this movie, like I said, we're half an hour in. I'm like, am I supposed to care that Lois and his mom miss him? Because he hasn't been in it.
Yeah.
If you're coming from this from Batman v Superman, which everybody is,
Which everyone is, yeah.
do you give a shit that Superman's dead?
Not really, and they haven't really, like, I know they showed a few mourning scenes here and there, but apart from that, like, they've shown all this action, like, he's forgotten already, really.
Yeah.
But
it's also
yeah.
Sorry, it's also the thing at the end of Batman Superman, you see the dirt rise off the grave. Like, that's the last thing you've seen before this movie started, except for the Wonder Woman movie, obviously.
Yeah. Do you think they should have shown that?
I don't know what they should have done here.
I mean, no, I mean
screen.
at the end of Batman vs Superman. I don't think they should have.
No.
I don't think they should have done that with the dirt on the grave. I think they should have just at least just be ballsy and just be like, yeah, he could actually be gone. You know?
Just leave it. Yeah, he's dead. He's not coming back.
I think it's just like, it's the Hollywood thing to do. It's just like, oh, you know, your favorite character's still around. It's like, well, why did you kill him then? You know, like, why did he even show that?
It's in a weird world because I don't like Man of Steel, but I also don't like Batman Superman. Batman Superman I hate. Zack Snyder's vision for this universe is not something I agree with. But then I look at this movie where it turns into this cheese fest Hollywood Marvelized version, and I'm like, do I prefer the guy who at least was following his vision, or do I want the generic middle of the road copy of a Marvel movie?
Yeah,
this is DC's best Marvel movie. But I haven't watched this since it came out. I don't care. It's not funny enough. It's not enjoyable enough. Doesn't have enough heart like a Marvel movie does.
There hasn't been, and not that it needs funny, but there hasn't been a single funny moment, has there, so far?
Not really.
No.
It's trying to get that lighter tone.
Yeah.
And it's like, yeah, okay, but Christ, give me a story. Like, who am I following? Is it Batman story or is it not Batman story?
It should be Batman, I think. But the thing is, we haven't seen him for 20 minutes. So
yeah, like, it's supposed to be him being, oh, there's danger. I got to live up to Superman's, life, and he sacrificed everything, and now I'm a changed man. It's like, yeah, but are you? What's going on? How do you know what parademons are? Why are the boxes glowing? Why is anything happening?
Well, that's the whole thing.
Oh, here we go. Here's our flashback moments.
They're talking about it now, aren't they?
All right, let's learn what we can learn.
Okay. He lived only to conquer, yeah.
So this is Earth, because he's fighting Amazons.
Right.
And then he's making parademons. I don't understand why. I don't understand any of this.
We didn't hit it off.
It's so forced. It's just so jammed in.
Yeah. The mother.
And all of this is it's Apocalypse. It's the Mr. Miracle world. It's Darkseid's world. And that, I think the idea was this is a two-parter, and then Darkseid would be in the second one.
Oh, right, okay.
Yeah, like, Darkseid's supposed to be the Thanos, but they didn't have the balls to show him.
Right.
So they're using Steppenwolf and being like, okay, do people accept this guy?
Yeah. Well, my big issue with him as well is that, and obviously spoilers because we've all seen this, is like Superman just... I mean, I'll rage once we get there, but he just completely obliterates this guy, and there's no enemy. Like, Steppenwolf's not even a challenge. And I guess, in a way, that was our issue a little bit with Captain Marvel as well. Like, there was no arc. She was always, like, super powerful. But, yeah, it just really, really bothered me when Superman turned up, and it basically was the end of the film.
So, Steppenwolf is here against the Green Lanterns, the Amazons, I guess the actual gods from myth, like Zeus and Achilles. But there's also spaceships,
Yeah.
and this also happened on Earth, and this is human history.
Yeah.
What the fuck were they thinking?
So what? Yeah. What?
Like
Yeah, 3 cubes
I
just
appreciate
came
that
out,
they're
yeah.
the 3 cubes. If you put them together, they're gonna make the terraform the world or turn it into like Apocalypse's hellhole.
Yeah. Fucking destroy
So they have
them.
to,
Yeah.
and then they keep them on Earth. Maybe just destroy them or send them into space with the Green Lanterns. No, we're gonna put it on a pedestal underwater.
Yeah.
And the men just stick it in a 2-foot hole.
That's hilarious.
The lad's like, I'm not doing this
Just
shit.
bury it, boys.
There, it's 2 feet underground in the woods. It'll be fine.
Robin Loxley.
Yeah, but on the other hand, if I'm going to be like a comic fan, I'm like, oh, cool. They introduced all these things, and they've got all this huge scale to it now, and
Sure.
they've put in this mythic history. Doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like for the universe you're created in the last 3 movies, this doesn't work, or at least it doesn't fit. It doesn't gel together, and that's mostly what this movie is, not fitting together.
Yep, I agree, man.
On the plus side, nobody's ever gonna have to watch a sequel.
Well, knowing them, they'll probably try and make one, but just different actors and.
Christ, we're 35 minutes in. You know why that's bad? Because we're counting the clock.
I know. We're just like, how much longer?
If we did our Infinity War commentary, we're just like blub 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 blub, and it's like, oh, it's over.
Yeah.
Oh well.
Now we're just staring at the clock, like, please.
It's like they had some idea of what they wanted to do, but most of it was just Zack Snyder trying to pull shit out of his ass.
You're a Flash fan, though, aren't you?
Yeah, I like the TV series. I've been watching all 5 seasons.
Yeah. Do you like him in this? Like, even though he's barely kind of in it in a way, but
I like the fact that it's its own version of Flash. Like, it's not something that's really in the comics, and it's not the TV show version. So I like that they went in their own direction.
Yeah, that's fair.
It just seems a bit weird that I don't know what they're kind of get with him, because actually that's the thing. I don't know how he gets his powers in this.
I guess they don't. Yeah, they don't really explain that, do they? He's just already got them.
Yeah, because in the comic version of it and in the TV show version of it, the way it works is he's already an adult. He's already a forensic guy at the police. And then he's working in his lab one night, and a bolt of lightning comes through the roof or through the window, hits him, knocks him into his laboratory with all his chemicals, and it's the mixture of the lightning and the chemicals that gives him his powers. Solid science. Can't argue with that. Like, just solid science, like all superheroes. But in this, he already has his powers.
That is quite a cool scene there. And I remember seeing that in the trailer as well. A nice little reveal.
Yes.
He's saying, "I know who you are, and now you know who I am." That's kind of cool. And also, he does bring the comedy to this as well. I'm trying to bring some positiveness.
Yeah, he does. I don't know if I like the actor so much, but he's good at what he's doing.
Is he in anything else? Because I don't recognize him whatsoever.
Ezra Miller's in a couple of like art house movies that I can think of. Probably a few.
Okay.
Films that
it's kind of good though. Like, you don't want like these massive famous actors. Like, I mean, I know you've got that in Avengers, but in this one, he's brand new, so keep him brand new.
Yeah. And not everybody can do Jason Momoa, because Jason Momoa just comes in and it is Jason Momoa.
Yeah. Apparently, Jason Momoa like shaved his beard off or something, and everyone's just like, "What the hell have you done?"
So I'm just paying attention to what he's saying here.
Yeah, about
the
calories.
It's like the same thing. He has to eat a bunch of food.
Yeah.
Same. Yeah. He has the Speed Force, but they don't say where he gets his powers from. Which is why I'm a little weirded out, because he lives in a shithole, but he has all this stuff that he steals. He made his own suit, but he doesn't do anything with his powers, even though his dad's in prison. I'm just like, what's going on in terms of the character?
Yeah.
Flash, the original Flash, Barry Allen, is always the most, or the one who sacrificed himself. He's a very heroic character in the comics, and even in the show they've made him like that. Oh, now we're back to getting information through a TV.
Yeah. Oh yeah, there you go.
The Zack Snyder superstar.
Yeah. I did also like that line back there we missed. What's your superpower again? It's like, I'm rich. Because like obviously that's what everyone has issues with Batman with that. It's just like you were up against Superman, like an alien, and like he could just easily kill you. But Batman, yeah, his power is he's rich, but he's also like super smart. He's the Captain America type thing.
Yeah, like in Batman Superman, as crappy as the movie is, I'm never gonna give it a pass. Batman is a good Batman. Like that's the kind of Batman you would expect from a darker, more realistic one. When he's doing that fight in the warehouse and he's blasting through the floor and he's smacking people's heads around.
Yeah.
It looks like the Batman video game. Like that's how quick he's moving and how smart he is and using his gadgets.
Yeah.
That Batman does not make sense in this universe. Like you're trying to figure out if Wonder Woman is fast as Superman and able to stop bullets and stuff. It's like Batman doesn't fit in. Like they haven't put his power level at a point that would match the rest of the Justice League.
Yeah, yeah. I one thing I have to say here is this really, really looks like a set. Does it not just look like a very fake set in the back there?
That all the house in the back, I think this is just a green screen room.
Yeah, it just looks. It looks too. It looks like they're in Hollywood studios.
I would just love it if a bunch of cars drove past and crashed because there's no lights. It's like, what happened to the fucking street lights, buddy?
What's going on?
I also like that there's nobody on the street. There's no cars on the street. No. There's nobody looking out the window being like, what the fuck happened to the power? I was watching Game of Thrones.
Yeah. It's just a dead scene. It's just these two.
They just need these two people to talk so that we can have a scene that brings them together. This scene, like you said, it's on a set. It's faked. They probably did this in the reshoots.
Yes, yeah. That's true. 25 million.
So it does make me want to see the cut that Schneider did, because I'm like,
oh my god.
How did you have them come together in your version that was so bad that they made this as the replacement?
And then, do you reckon Schneider's version was shorter than 2 hours then? Like maybe his was like 1:45?
I remember the stories coming out that this was going to be 3 hours.
I don't want to... Yeah, there's a bloody car at the back. So as soon as the lights went off, the car was moving. It's just like, it was just literally just waiting.
And this is weird again, I guess, because it's like a double intro.
Yeah, because
so we got introduced to Flash, meeting his dad. Then Batman meets the Flash, and we introduce him again. We have Aquaman meets Batman. Now we have Aquaman making a save. We had Cyborg meeting his dad, and then we had that's a Zack Snyder shot every day of the week.
Hell yeah!
This is all original. I remember this.
Yeah,
the trailers, and then we have Zack Schneider. Or then we have Zack Snyder. Yeah, Zack Snyder, Cyborg. Then Cyborg meets Wonder Woman. Like, you've doubled up on introducing people.
It's true. Like, we saw this with Ben Affleck just before.
Yeah. Like, this scene is so different in tone and style to what's before. And I don't have a problem with that. I know they had to get the new director. But now you've got two intro moments for the same character.
Yeah, you're right. The way that's done, he is different there for sure from when Ben Affleck saw him.
And was that just to get to this scene?
I know, that's what I'm wondering. That's super confusing.
Yeah, I guess it's just like, we had this cool footage, we had these cool shots, we'll just put them in.
Yeah.
It's like, well, you've changed the type of character he is, and you changed who he is, and now we're dealing with the merman.
They did keep this woman here. She's actually the main kind of sidekick girl in Aquaman, so I'm glad they've kept her.
Oh, Mara.
Yeah.
Mara. Amber Heard.
And this is...
And I heard... Didn't they make a thing about it in the Aquaman movie where they're not going to do the air bubble.
Oh, you're right. They didn't. They did. No, they didn't actually do the air bubble. They did it in a different way. Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
Instead of the way they've done it for 80 years in the comics, which is they just talk. It's not real. Get over yourself. That's a Zack Snyder thing of like, people can't talk underwater. It's not realistic. It's not like my Batman. Oh, shut up, Zack. So, do you think that the end of Batman Superman, like the Bruce Wayne changing,
Yeah.
do you think that makes sense in this universe now? Like the way Batman is?
I don't know. It kind of goes with it a little bit, but yeah, it's still a free for all. I think I don't think it was done on purpose. I think they're just I don't know. I don't have a solid answer really.
Why does he come by himself this time?
I know. Well, he's literally just finished in the bar and he's just coming down here randomly.
Yeah. And why is Steppenwolf here by himself?
Well,
doesn't he bring all his parademons last time?
He's powerful enough, or maybe they don't swim.
Well, I guess those two great defense mechanisms they had, sticking the box on a pedestal, didn't really help.
Yeah.
For a guy who can teleport. Also, was the Amazon scene and this scene just to prove that nobody's as strong as Steppenwolf, and that when Superman comes back, everything's going to be okay?
Hang on a second. She just said at last. What? They've never seen him before?
So like,
is this the first
time? Yeah, I
don't
understand because I haven't seen the Aquaman movie. Is this his first time in it?
Well, in Aquaman, this is all. So this is before Aquaman, the movie.
Yeah. So in Aquaman the movie, he's been to Atlantis before.
Oh yeah. Fuck, I'm trying to remember now. Like, no, before that, no, he hadn't.
So what's he doing here now?
Doing
so
here
this
now?
doesn't count.
Yeah,
Not only
weird.
does he go to Atlantis, but he goes to the cube. He seems to be around the cube right when that happens.
Yeah, it's just that confused me because the thing that confused me the most, she's like at last we see you or whatever. But like, why did he suddenly just after the bar of downloading a bottle of whiskey just go to that place?
Well, how else is he going to be there to fight Steppenwolf now?
Yeah, I know.
Put 2 and 3 together.
Now, don't hold me to that. Like Aquaman, he could have already been down there and stuff. I just can't remember that.
Now, we're definitely getting a Joss Whedon scene here, I think. It's like, ooh, a random family's in trouble. Seems like they missed the chance to do something in China because there's so much money in China. Just do this in China. I don't know why they picked Russia particularly. But again, it's another one of those choices which is like, Russia, why not? Doesn't matter. It's like, it kind of does matter. It kind of matters. Is it because it's the reactor? Yeah, maybe they just had a cool set.
I guess it's just a cool set
reactor.
Thing. Yeah. Because it's a really generic background.
So he's got how many cubes now?
I think
2?
He's got 2. Yeah, he's putting it in some random wall which we've never seen before. Oh, it must be. So this must be where that battle took place.
Oh yeah, that would make sense.
Years and years ago. Okay.
All right, I'll give it a pass.
We'll give that to you. We'll give that to you.
Good solution, Al. You've solved the problem.
Trying to help out where I can. So
let me get this straight. He knows where the other 2 are for some reason. Maybe just because he knows the Amazons and the Atlanteans are there.
He doesn't know that
he can teleport wherever he wants. Yeah. He has a giant army. He can beat the shit out of any hero or army in the world. But he doesn't have a shovel.
And he doesn't know where the fuck it is. Like, how would he even start to guess where it is underground?
But it would seem to me that some sort of super advanced species with all this technology would maybe be able to track a incredibly powerful world-changing device.
Yeah.
It's basically a nuclear warhead. You kind of have ways of finding nuclear warheads, Geiger counters, radiation. Oh, here we have our new Jim Gordon as well,
Oh yeah.
aka J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah.
I just want to slap somebody and tell him to be a better drummer.
Oh God.
He's a great actor. I
He's
feel
great.
shit because I'm like,
He
he
was
would have been a
crazy in
good
that.
Jim Gordon. Oh, we're
So we got
Back to
three of them
Batman.
together now.
took 50 minutes to get us here. I know it seems like a nitpicky thing. It's like, oh, it took so long to do everything. But it's like I said, it's like we're watching scenes that don't come back and affect anything.
Right.
And if you go and you watch Avengers, the first one, it might not be perfect or whatever, but like every scene in that does something.
Yeah, it means something. Yeah.
Even if it's just like, okay, we have to get the eye out of this German fella to whatever. That might seem pointless, but it's like, oh, but that gets you to where Captain America and Iron Man arrive and they capture Loki. And then you realize that's part of Loki's plan to get captured and blah, 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 blah. Whereas here, there's no plot. There's nothing moving the story forward. There's no questions to be answered. I guess it's the most comic book movie I've seen in a long time.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to make sense. It's just like, here's a nice picture. Here's a nice picture. Move along. Keep going.
Yeah.
It's what it feels like. Yeah, like I gotta say, like
the other thing,
Flash's costume looks good.
yeah, I was just gonna say, like his costume. So Batman would have just given him that. Yeah, said I made you one.
Yeah. Here, I bought you this.
And then the same thing of this dude. Like, where's all the, like, didn't he have like limbs? Not long ago?
I was gonna say, isn't he supposed to be Metropolis? But then I forgot. Metropolis is across the water. There it
you
is
can just
there
see
in the background.
you see in the background. Yeah. I did think that was
The
kind
best-
of cool actually, having both the cities. It's almost like Toronto and Hamilton kind of thing. You can see them, but yeah.
Yeah, let's have the worst city in all of America right beside the best city in America. How did they go faster than the Flash?
Yeah, I know. That's rude.
I do like the effect they've given the Flash in this.
Yeah, that's kind of cool.
Like if you do it like we're doing it now, where you're just talking over it and you're looking at it, it's like, it looks nice. It's a pretty picture movie.
Of course.
Some of the CGI is a bit iffy, but you're not going to worry about it too much.
Yeah. It's also, I don't know, it's very staged, like this here. I'm jumping off and stuff, and I don't know. It's just it's very predictable and very staged. Whereas I can't really explain like Marvel. It's just more organic, and whenever you see a scene, you're surprised, or it's new, or it's fresh. Whereas here, you just feel like, oh, when the camera pans or zooms here, you know what's gonna happen. So
Yeah, there doesn't seem to be any life in the movie.
yeah.
Yeah, I really like the Flash's effect. I guess it's probably a little bit more expensive than what they use in the TV show, though, so they can't use it all the time.
The TV show, he's got like a little bit of a trail behind him, hasn't he, or something? Like, I haven't actually seen the TV show. So.
Actually, can you explain to me where we are right now?
Like,
What's going? It's Star Labs. They attack Star. Oh, I remember now. Because the mother box was used to make Cyborg, so they must have found the energy signature from Star Labs,
right.
and that's why they've gone. Why they would take everybody from the lab and put them down in this weird tunnel, I don't know. Like, that's the thing with the movie. It's scene to scene, and you're kind of like, it's not that you're questioning why it's happening, because it's not interesting enough to worry about, but it's just like, okay, so the giant evil bad guys are taking these random people and making hostages.
yeah.
And I do like this, is that it's like Barry's first time being a hero.
Yeah, he kind of like shits his pants a little bit. Just one at a time, he's just going through.
So he knows the mother box is somewhere around there, but he can't get better. He can't trace it any better. I don't know. It's just weird. We're just watching now, just hoping something happens. Maybe some guy in blue. Like this, I think this was the fear people had when Avengers came out. It's like, what are you doing? You're putting all of these characters in the same movie? It's going to be a clusterfuck. And it's like, no, it'll be fine. And it was.
Mm.
And I think we have a love of Marvel just because they don't screw up this badly.
Yeah, that's
on this big a scale.
They've
made like boring movies, or they've made movies that are like, whatever. But when it comes to hitting the big stage, they usually kind of nail it. Age of Ultron was a little bit meh, but it was still enjoyable.
Yeah, that definitely was my least favorite Avengers, but yeah, like you said, it still made sense, the story and the characters. So,
and even with Age of Ultron, it's a big CGI bad guy, but he's kind of cool and interesting.
Yeah,
I'll give it that.
Oh,
James Spader, great voice.
He was quirky because he had a bit of a sense of humor as well, didn't he?
Yeah, his sense of humor, and then he turned from being kind of comedy to like just being an absolute psychopath. You're like, I like this.
Yeah.
And then you've got other like really enjoyable scenes, but I think can't really compare it to Age of Ultron because, to be fair, that's after Avengers 1, so they're friends. You've got like that cool scene where all they're trying to lift Thor's hammer, which is just a really fun thing that works because you know them all.
Yeah.
And you can't have that in this movie. I get it.
No.
So it's back to Avengers 1, and Avengers 1 is fun. It's enjoyable. You want to watch it. I've watched it lots of times. Yeah. I'm sure you have too.
Oh, yeah.
This one, I'm just like, I don't care. And this is Batman and Superman, and I just don't care.
I know. That's the main thing. It's like two lovable, memorable characters, but they've just been destroyed through through bad storytelling. Especially Superman. Like Batman.
I think
Batman,
where we're at now, it's just showing like Batman's so useless. He needs a giant robot.
I don't mind that though, because he doesn't have powers, so he needs his machinery, he needs his money to help him. Yeah, these guys have the powers. And one thing that does come off in here is those creatures are quite nasty. Those flying ones,
the parademons. Yeah,
they are quite nasty.
This guy, it's just, I don't know what to do with him. He looks bad. That's one thing. Like the CGI on Ultron is pretty great.
Yeah.
This guy looks bad, but he's also, like I said, he's not quirky. He's not memorable. There's nothing about him that.
No. Here's
their
Snyder moment.
Quicksilver scene.
Yeah.
Quicksilver.
Oh, Quicksilver, of course. Yeah.
They saw the X-Men. They're like, oh, we can do that.
Yep.
We got the Flash. He's even faster.
We've got that plug-in for After Effects.
Like, this is the most a Flash can do. I can get that. He's not a fighter. He's kind of like, I'm going to help you. I'm going to do stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Christ on a fucking stick, this film is bad when it comes to fight scenes. Like, you don't know what's going on. You don't know what they're fighting for. Nobody knows what's going on, really, on the hero side of things.
Just trips over there.
Like, what I'm saying is, like, think of, like, the giant fight scenes in the film. There's this one, where it's kind of just a mess, and the heroes are terrible. You get a few jokes off thing. The next big fight scene is when Superman comes back to get their asses handed to them, and it all ends because Lois pops up. And then it's the last one at the end where it's like, oh, what are we going to do? We don't have a hope. Oh, it's all right. Superman's here. He'll beat the shit out of him.
I know. And that's basically what happens. As soon as Superman turns up, the film's done. It's over.
Yeah. Whereas if you compare it again, Avengers, it's just an endless Avengers comparison now. But what you have there is you start off with the three main guys, Thor, Iron Man, and Captain America, fighting each other.
Yeah.
And then they have to try and work together on the helicarrier when it's crashing. So you have to work as a team. They have to deal with something that's an actual problem together. And then you get to the fight in New York. And then when you're at the fight in New York, they all literally come together in a circle. And it's like a big hero shot. And Hulk's like, I'm always angry. Like, you have a team. By the end of it, you have a team.
Yeah.
To where Hulk has to save Iron Man from dying and all this. Like, this film doesn't have any of that. There's no Justice League at the end of this movie, in my eyes. There's Superman and his friends.
It is exactly that. Superman and his little buddies.
Like, they don't do anything. Like, there's no progression on them either getting better as a team or not working. He beats the shit out of them without a problem, and they have nothing to do. And then the next thing is they have to beat Superman. He beats the shit out of them without a problem, and they have nothing to do. And then it gets to the end, and they're like, "Well, we can't beat this guy. There's nothing we could do."
Yeah.
Oh, hang on, I got Clark's number. I'll give him a bell.
Yeah, give him a little call.
He also looks like he's only on stage 3 of 6 when it comes to rendering.
Yeah, I know. It's totally. It's just like it's the wireframe mode or something.
Oh, water.
Okay,
that
so we got some.
Aquaman.
Yeah, exactly. It's just so predictable. It's just like, let's introduce some water now.
I think Aquaman's power is the ability to be in the right place at the weirdest time. He knows where the cube was going to get stolen, even though he's never been there before. He knew these guys were in trouble right as the thing burst, and he could swim down it.
Of course he did, yeah. And he'd waited just for that time.
This is a movie designed to be basically drunk while watching.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Because if you're not paying attention, it's like, it's awesome. Batman's killing, he's doing it. Get him, Aquaman. And in the moment you have to like pay attention, you're like, what the fuck is going on? The change engine. So that's what they call a mother box. He could fly the whole time, and he left.
Yeah, he's just like, see you later, boys.
Yeah. This is in the trailer.
Oh yeah.
But it doesn't make sense because he knows he's Batman. He calls him Batman at the start.
Yeah.
How does that joke make sense? He's like, I know you're Batman. Oh, I didn't know you dressed as a bat. It's like, what?
So he
has the box.
It, yeah.
And the rest of them couldn't find it. Like,
yeah, what?
I think here's something I'm realizing in these movies that are not thought out. If you want to make a great action movie, here's a basic rule. Have the good guys chase the bad guys.
Right.
Don't have the bad guys chasing something.
Yeah, yeah.
Avengers is the good guys are chasing Loki because Loki has the scepter and the cube. They're trying to stop him. And I know it seems like this is what they're trying to do here, but here the bad guy doesn't have anything yet. He's still trying to get the cube. I don't want to make a hard and fast rule, but if you pick most good action movies, the good guys are the ones who are trying to stop the bad guys.
Yeah, yeah.
Like Mission Impossible Fallout. Great movie. There's a bad guy who's trying to blow up the world because he's got nuclear weapons. They have to stop him. Like, he's already got the nuclear weapons. The movie's not about him trying to get the weapon.
Yeah, yeah. It's like a plain objective, what you got to do.
Yeah. Which is, it's funny if you think about Infinity War, it's almost just pissed on my theory, but that movie works so well because it doesn't give the heroes any time.
Right.
It's like right away they're like, oh, Doctor Strange has the time stone, he has to come and get it, just like they have to come and get this box. But Doctor Strange is like, oh yeah, we can't give up the time stone, it'll be cool. And then it's like 10 seconds passes and the bad guys are there. And then it's a case of, are they going to be able to get it? And then you're chasing them. And then it's back to chasing the bad guys.
Right, right.
There's no interest in watching a bad guy chase something because you don't want him to win.
Exactly. You're not like you're not rooting for him.
So you're just like, is he going to get it? He'll probably get it. What am I watching this for?
What are these guys doing now? So they want to resurrect Superman, is that right?
Yeah. Which the previous scene is okay for, because the previous scene then shows that they're not good enough to beat Steppenwolf on their own.
Sure. So they know that and they need help. And
what I do not understand is why Steppenwolf can't find this box
right now.
and
why can't he just beam in there right now?
Why hasn't he killed all of them?
Yeah.
Or why isn't he following them?
Yeah, yeah.
It just, none of it makes sense from a bad guy's perspective. Like, what's he doing now? Is he going off? Is he getting a Subway sandwich? Is he having a massage? What's he doing?
Yeah, it's true because like what I can't remember the next scene, but I'm guessing they must get. Well, actually, the next few scenes are all Superman, isn't it? Like them resurrecting. Yeah. So like, yeah, what is Steppenwolf doing in all that time?
I don't know. Just picking out his decor for his new world or something.
He's waiting to see it on TV, isn't he? That's the way. It's the only way he can see it.
There's a couple of parademons with like the antenna. They're trying to get the TV set up.
Trying to get a
like, will you turn it on? I don't know what's going on.
Yeah.
Get me CNN.
Bend
Come on.
bend the aerial. You get better
No,
signal.
You go up. Oh, almost. I got BBC. Hang on. Let's watch it.
Yeah, got BBC. The snooker's on.
Snooker's on. Shit. All right. Well, we'll just keep watching until there's a news alert, and then they'll tell us where the Justice League
Exactly. Isn't that what happens though? Isn't it like he must see that Superman comes back or something?
Yeah, he's probably off getting a new phone. He needs to get his Win Mobile contract so he can get data.
Oh, that's so
you can
funny.
check his app.
All right, I'm going for a piss break. So that means everyone needs to do a shot because it's his film. Might as well do 3, and then I'll be back. I'll leave you with Paul. Hopefully, he doesn't kill himself.
We got the great scene of Batman trying to act like he's the new hero. We are not enough. We're not as good as Superman. He made me believe. I miss him. I do feel bad because Affleck is a good actor, a good director. Don't know if he's a good writer. I guess, yeah, fair enough. He got the Good Will Hunting Oscar. That's at least one more than I'll ever get. He's got a lot of talent. The other actors aren't bad. Ezra's a little bit of a weirdo in real life, but, fair play. Do what you want, mate. I don't care. Gal is probably the weakest out of them all. But in terms of a group, there's nothing that makes them more or less appealing than your Chris Evanses and Hemsworths. Nobody in here is really Robert Downey Jr. Affleck isn't given enough to play with to become that character, but the same with Schneider. He's not a terrible director. He's just not a very interesting storyteller. There's nothing bad in the parts. It's just you put it together under the wrong oversight. You don't have that Kevin Feige. You don't have that guy who's like corralling everybody towards a big finish. Then you're just going to get your Warner Brothers saying, how about we have this? We should have this thing. We can make a toy out of this. What if his suit's black? No, let's drop that. And the fluctuations in where it's going and what it's doing and who's doing it. Who's in, who's out. And now, obviously, the DC film universe has gone to piss. No one cares. It's out. We're going to make 2, 3, 4 Joker movies. Harley's getting her own movie. That Suicide Squad's getting remade, but maybe we'd still have the same Joker. Batman's in, Batman's out, Batman's young, Superman's out, all come together. I've lost my mind. I just can't deal with how you have such quality and end up with such shit. Quality in terms of the source material, the fan base, and then, good quality talent, and you end up with this. It just baffles me. Now you have a scene where they're literally digging up a dead body. Who thought this was a good idea? I guess this is their bonding scene, though, even though they don't really do anything later. Out of everybody, Cyborg does seem to get the most interaction with Superman when he becomes his, comes back as his super self. Why is Barry so socially inept? Is he supposed to be some sort of on the Speed Force spectrum of autism or something? Actually, I just remembered as I was watching this with the Aquaman thing, there was that poster that came out. What was it, like Unite the Seven or the Seven combined or something? Even though they decided not to add in Lantern or Martian Manhunter or Satara or anybody. That's Batman. Doing his usual thing of being a bat. Got to be a Schneider shot. Looks like it. That's the thing. He can make nice shots. He just can't make a nice story.
Okay, no story. That's what I heard. That's what I came back to.
Uh-oh. I hear some crinkling.
Crinkling is...
Sounds like Al's back.
Oh, yeah.
You know the other thing about this that it bugs me, and I have to say it with the heroes, is like, I was saying like everybody in it's really good. They could make good movies if they had to make good movies. So it's not like any one person screwed up the production. I think it was just Warner Brothers screwed it up. But the other reason like this hurts is that everyone's like, oh, you guys are Marvel fanboys. It's like, Marvel was made after DC. Superman was the first hero. Batman came it like a year later. Then the Justice League was created. There was the Justice Society of America. Then there was the Justice League. And then it was years later that the Avengers was made. Like, Marvel copied DC in all regards.
Yeah.
Or at least DC paved the way and Marvel got on the back of it. So to find that DC can't do it as well as Marvel is kind of like, ugh.
I think it swings and roundabouts, though, because...
It hurts because it's like they should have had a better run of it.
I do feel like DC will eventually redeem themselves and get it right. And I do see a future where maybe Marvel might have the shittier films, It's just... the formula for Marvel is working, and it's awesome. And DC's is just definitely not working. So someone's gonna... It'll be fixed. It'll be rectified. But it's just a shame of what damage it's done so far to our great characters like Superman and Batman.
I just like that everybody has a job to do in this. It just all worked out that they all had a job.
Of course, yeah. So they've dug it. I was away, but they've dug his
There's
grave
not enough
up.
charge to wake the box.
They're bringing him into the ship. This
I still
is the
don't
place that
understand
Lex Luthor kind of owned, didn't he?
Why it is that Barry can create the electrical current to make Superman come back alive, but he only has one chance to make it happen.
Yeah, that's fucking weird.
The mother box is ready. Here we go. So he has to do it the moment it hits the fluid. Why can't he just do it any other time? What's the problem with him doing it some other time? Oh, 1 second. He's got to run real fast. He's got to do it. Oh, no, he's not going to make it. He's not going to make it. Is he going to make it? He's probably going to make it. Like, was there any tension in this for anybody watching it in the cinema? A little bit of holy Jesus looking effects coming in here. Might be a Zack Snyder shot if it looks like it's a God moment. Still don't know why they couldn't do it another time. But it doesn't matter. I hope he comes back, mustache and all. He should come back green, like kryptonite. Oh, in case anybody's wondering, Al's pissed off again for other reasons. He'll be back. He'll be back. They all come back. Just like Superman. But whatever. It's not like he's going to have a problem. So they left the crushed statue there. It's like, I remember that. Remember when you nearly died? That was good, wasn't it? Yeah, we're not going to fix it. It's a monument to your sacrifice. I'm pretty sure one of them got destroyed as well. God damn, Henry Cavill looks good though. Here we go. Is he going to be friends? Is he going to be enemies? Is he going to be an enemy that was once a friend but turns back into a frenemy? Nope, he's going to be their arch nemesis forever. Or maybe not. Should we bow or show our bellies? So that cyborg effect looks real bad too in the daylight. Why is he trying to kill him? What's going on with him? I can't believe we're missing this moment.
Hello.
Oh, hello.
I didn't know what happened there.
Al's back.
Oh, I'm back.
I don't know what happened. It's weird.
Have you just been rolling?
Yeah, I just been rolling along,
Yeah.
telling everybody how it's so weird that he comes back and he's already an asshole.
Yeah, I just kept on rolling as well. So Wonder Woman's got him. He's just got her by the neck now.
Yep.
Yep.
I was looking at in the daylight. That cyborg looks just as bad as Steppenwolf. I gotta say.
I gotta say, I didn't realize I was disconnected, so I was chatting because I could still hear you, and I was chatting, but you weren't listening to a word I was saying, and I was like, "Do you mind if I say something?" You just kept on talking.
Sounds like me.
Yeah. So but honestly, that was quite funny because I was like, "Well, this is Paul," so.
Yep. I'm just gonna keep going. I'm not gonna stop.
Yeah, we're not. There's no way that we can re-watch this. So
Now, here's the thing. If I'm gonna complain about being a writer, blah blah blah. If you're gonna make this scene where Flash is just a fraction faster than Superman, it's like, okay, Superman's so fast that the Flash can't sneak up on him,
yeah,
and he's almost fast enough that he can hit him. Flash is just quick enough to avoid it. That's gotta come in at some point later. Like, you've got to either show the Flash stepping up and learning a new ability,
yeah,
or doing something that's going to come on down the road that you're like, oh, the Flash is actually on the team because of this and this.
and the Flash.
It's not just
the
because
Flash
he's fast.
is
He
actually
can do
faster.
stuff Superman can't.
The Flash is faster than
Yeah,
Superman, is way because they have a race at the
Yeah.
end as well. And I think in the comics he is faster as well, isn't he?
Oh yeah, he's insanely fast as well.
Yeah,
He's the fastest. He's the fastest thing in the universe. He's faster than light, and he can run through time. All of that, which is taking us back to Batman v Superman, where Flash comes through in a dream vision computer terminal or whatever, and
Yeah.
he's like, "Hey, Lois is the key," which might be this scene here.
that's a man.
Look at that upper lip.
That's a man without a mustache.
Oh, he said the thing that he said to him.
Yeah,
Probably shouldn't.
What-
Probably should avoid remembering that previous movie.
yeah. That's yeah. Connecting the two films together there. That's like the strongest part.
I would have loved if like Superman came out as a skeleton. I know it's only been like
Sorry, I just love that
a
bit.
few
He
months.
just literally just threw him away. Like
Yeah.
he was a tissue.
And also, she calls him Clark and everything in front of police all the time.
Oh,
She
yeah.
did it in Man of Steel. She does it here.
That's a good point. I never even realized that. That's so.
In Man of Steel, I was like, what? All right, I'm going to let it pass. I'm going to pretend that the police in Smallville know Clark Kent is Superman, and they're kind of like, they've covered up for him for years.
Yeah,
but
yeah.
in this one, I'm just like,
That's hilarious.
all right, at some point, Batman gets called out, Superman gets called out. We're just in this universe where no one cares.
I know. It's just a free for all, isn't it?
It's a good joke, but you put that Batman beside the Batman who drives through town shooting up bad guys, You're like, "Ooh, you guys had no plan
Yeah.
for what was going down."
And now,
And I said it
now
earlier when I
Steppenwolf's
was ranting.
there. Now he's there.
Yeah, now he's there. So
How stupid
he,
are they? Like they left
so
it
he's
there.
yeah, like is he following them, or is he able to follow the thing, or is it because they used the thing that he could find
It's
it?
because he saw it on TV, mate. There must have been some kind of commotion,
That's exactly
and
it.
Snyder's like, put the TV on, boys.
Yeah, once they all started fighting outside, it's like, oh, there's Lois. She's a reporter. Let's get a news camera on her.
I did actually like this scene because Clark and his mum obviously is like a big connection. So his mum seeing him alive, like, because I actually kind of like Lois, the actor Lois, and I like his mum as well. They
Yes.
they make that a little bit stronger. I like seeing those kind of scenes because Superman is a massive character for me. I love Superman.
Well, I love that scene, except it was not the scene that I wanted.
It was also that little bit there, which is cut quite short.
Well, when she does arrive, his mother arrives, and she sees him and stuff. I was like, this is a scene where, even though, honest to God, we're an hour and 20 in, the film hasn't done anything for me. I'm so invested in Superman that when his mother comes to see him alive, I was ready to start crying. I'm like, all right, I got them set up. They're all stored away.
Yeah,
Just got to let the valve off, and then they end the scene real quick. I'm like, really?
they definitely
You're
do.
not
I
even gonna
remember it cutting very, very quick.
you're not even gonna give us that moment.
I know.
You've waited an hour to bring him back.
Yeah.
It's like, no, we're not gonna give you the Martha moment. It's like,
I also don't
that's
give
the whole reason this movie happened.
I don't give a flying fuck about Cyborg. Like, just his character
No.
is so boring. Aquaman, maybe just because we hadn't seen the film, his film, or you haven't even seen it. I don't know. Maybe it's just Jason Momoa. He's got a bit of charisma on screen, so I did care about him a bit more. But Cyborg, just so generic, so boring.
It's a lot of first draft scripting, the way I look at it.
Mm.
It's like, all right, Cyborg, he's got problems with his dad, he's got issues. And it's like, okay, but you have to write something around that's interesting.
Of course, yeah. I like Batman's suit there actually. That suit design's kind of cool. And I like this as well.
Here he is.
He's a bit fucked up, His back is aching,
Yeah, he's human.
Yeah. And that came.
But again,
yeah.
this is one of those things that doesn't play into the rest of the movie.
Yeah.
I would have liked it if it's, he's not able to deal with the pain. He's obviously not part of this world, and he feels like, oh, things are changing, and I'm not able to contribute the way I should be able to. Like, these guys are all able to lift cars, and I'm the only one who's got bruises after our, 5-minute fight. But then at the end, you realize that he's got this whole other set of skills and abilities that he offers. But he doesn't have, there's no growth, there's no change.
Yeah.
Nobody has any growth in this movie. Like, nobody's different from the start to the end. Except maybe Barry.
Yeah, a little bit there, yeah. Because, like, he's all frightened, and towards the end, he's got some courage and stuff.
Yeah. Like, Cyborg, like you said, is just, he's a nothing. He's Cyborg from the first time you see him until the last time you see him.
I mean, I guess that he's doing his job, a cyborg, but, job well done there, mate.
He's trying to compete with Steppenwolf to be the most unrealistic.
Mm.
Also, did she get dressed in between, like, those two scenes?
Yeah, I feel like she is. She's in new clothes, isn't she?
It's just those things of like, like, you can't complain about it. You just can't. You can't be like, well, that scene was shot here and this scene was shot 4 months later. It's like every movie does that.
Mm.
Here it's just a little bit more pronounced because there's a director who's trying to come in and not fix the movie, but he's trying to make the movie more what the producers are expecting. It's like, we need an Avengers. We need $1 billion movie. Make some jokes, Joss. Make some jokes.
Yeah, yeah.
And the thing with Joss Whedon is there was a script for Avengers that was written before he got there. And the writer I think his name is Zach as well. That's weird. The writer of that is credited as the Avengers writer with Joss Whedon. But Joss Whedon has said in interviews that he saw that first draft script and he's like, nope, and changed all of it.
Nice.
Like everything in it. It's just legally the other guy's name still had to be on it because that's the way it works.
Yeah, yeah.
But it's still a thing of he got to do the Avengers movie exactly how he wanted to. Whereas on this one, he's coming in and they're like, all right, you have this scene and this is already shot.
There's no way he can fix it, yeah.
No.
Another thing
It's
that
not happening.
another thing that kind of bothers me is how chaotic Superman was. I know he woke up and he was probably like very confused, don't know what's going on, but he just starts attacking them all, and now he's like the most peaceful guy, and he wants to help humanity. You know, it's just like it's like night and day. Literally 5 minutes ago, he was trying to kill all of the Justice League, you know, and he could have, but yeah, now he's just like super calm. I understand you bring him home, and that helps, but I don't know. It just
so you think he just woke up, Al, as in he came back from the dead?
he came back from the dead, I guess. But the thing is, though,
How
at the end of Batman vs Superman, the Earth, you know, kind of gravitated off.
Yeah.
So there must have been some life there anyway. But
yeah, they never really went into the details of like, is he dead, or was he in a coma? In the comics, he was in a coma.
yeah.
But in this, is like, is he dead? Did he go to an afterlife or whatever?
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah. But like, it's scenes like this where I wish they spent a little bit more time, and then instead of the 40 minutes at the beginning, just doing, I don't know, just taking too long.
There's that mustache.
Yeah. You can tell it's just the way he smiles, because you can tell he's got something on his upper lip when he smiles. You know.
Now here's the scene. This is like me in the cinema, just poised to be like,
the music's there.
Give me a Superman movie. Give me a Superman moment, not a movie. Just give me a moment.
Yeah.
That makes me think this is the hero. This is the guy that we should all be looking up to. This is the guy who's going to inspire us.
And this is good. She's like, "Who do you think you are?" And then suddenly she's like, "No, that's my son." You know, because her reaction when she got out of the car was just like, "You can't be him." And then she like looks at him and it's like, "No, it is you." But then it cuts.
Yeah,
It cuts right here, doesn't it? There, we're gone.
Yeah,
you could have.
That's it.
Even
like,
just holding that frame for another 5 seconds.
There was that. I think, I'm remembering now when I saw it in the cinema, that was the moment that I gave up on this movie.
Yeah.
I swear to God, that was it. I'm like, that was your one chance to win me over.
And I know you're such a big Superman guy as well. It's just a slap in the face.
That's how little you need. That's how little you need to give me, DC. You've starved me for so long of a good Superman movie that I'm like, just give me a scraps, please. Just give me a little bit to taste of. Just when it touches your lips, oh, it's so good. That's what I wanted, and they're like, nah, we're not going to do that.
And now they've got a CGI budget that they need to waste, so they're just like, more fire,
so they get
more
some
vines.
First-year college students.
It's like, guys, we've got like a Vine kind of After Effects plugin. Do you want us to use it? Use it all you want.
What else can we do? We got a red grid thing. I love it. Do more red grid thing.
That's the other thing with like Marvel is like Jarvis and Iron Man and his technology. Like, it's consistent throughout the whole universe, but it's also, there's little details in it and the way the interface is shown. It's a bit like Minority Report, whereas here it's just Hollywood generic grid. Put the grid down, you know. It's just, I don't know.
Yeah, it's just done to get through it.
Yeah,
which is, like, we both know that's a really shitty thing, because there's some guy who sat there for 4 months to make that happen.
Of course, but there's no love to it. It's just a generic system.
Yeah. Now, 3 of them can fly. Wait, can Aquaman fly?
No, but he can jump, you know, through the air, because
he can jump pretty good.
He's got super strength, hasn't he?
Yeah, he can fly underwater, I guess.
Yeah.
So now they got to fly to Russia. This better be a fast plane.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, where are they right now?
It looks like a whale, doesn't it? It looks kind of like a whale.
It does a little.
He's got his car in his plane. Pretty good.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. Big tires.
The other thing that I don't understand is the Amazons aren't all dead, and the Atlanteans aren't all dead.
Yeah, so where the fuck are they?
Yeah, like the whole point of the story Wonder Woman told is it took all the gods and everything to do it. And there's no Green Lanterns, they don't arrive. And I get it's like you've only got a couple of hours, but the Amazons should have been chasing this down, getting in touch with her. The Atlanteans should have been getting in touch with him. It's a weird thing. There is a great moment, I have to say, in this,
Oh yeah.
which I really like. It's this scene right here. It's this moment with Momoa. And he just seems to be just so brutal with everything.
It's very straight edged.
Yeah. And then it turns out that it was all it's all a goof.
That's funny. That is good. I actually
Like
forgot.
that.
I forgot about that.
Yeah. That's a great moment because that's a great character moment, good moment for Momoa, and it's also, for the comic book fans, it's superpowers, it's cool, it's the kind of thing that you haven't quite seen before with it.
Yeah.
That's the trying to lift up Thor's hammer kind of moment.
Yeah,
for me.
yeah. You're right. And that was done quite well there.
Meanwhile, in the house, this family have decided that they're not going to get in the car and drive away. They're going to let it become hell on earth. Here's the bat whale. Like we're now, what, an hour and a half in now.
Yeah. They don't.
Do you care?
I'm not invested. Like, sure, they're up against a battle, but even in the first Avengers, when they were at the crossroads, when they were all facing each other on the bridge after Banner kind of became Hulk, that, like, I had goosebumps at that time, I don't have goosebumps now. I'm looking at my watch and I'm like, shall I get another beer?
Might as well. It's not going to hurt.
Yeah. But, and I don't know. Like, I know this guy is supposed to be a bad guy, but even the setting they're in is just super generic. In the background, just the red sky. It's just, again, CGI.
Well, that's a great
CGI
thing with
fest.
with the end of Avengers. If you're talking CGI versus CGI, it takes place in New York. It's all green screen or whatever, but it looks great.
Well, there's also things going on, like Captain America's controlling the streets. He's saying to people, civilians, get out of here, move to here and stuff. Whereas this location is the dullest location they could have picked. It's like Chernobyl.
Yeah, that's the general idea they were going for.
Yeah.
But you're right. It's the same idea of this is just like look, and it's like, but you have to actually make them do something, make us feel something.
Yeah.
Even like Avengers, it does the simple stuff of Hawkeye takes a kid out of a bus that's in trouble. Captain America saves a bunch of people who are going to get blown up. That's stupidity stuff if you stand back from it. But in the moment as you're in it, you're like, oh my God, there's risks, there's things at stake.
It's those little details. And I know they do touch upon some of the civilians in here, but very, very little. But yeah, it's those little bits that make up the film. Because yes, you're in New York City, there's going to be civilians everywhere. So, whereas right now, it's just Steppenwolf, his enemies, and these guys. No one else, really.
No. And it's also the thing, like we said, there's no Amazons, there's no Atlanteans, there's no stakes. It doesn't seem like there's a big issue happening right now.
Yeah.
Like, where's the army? Where's the military? Like in Avengers, they do have police and they have the army, and then eventually they try and nuke the city because they're like, we have to take care of this. And that's supposed to be the more like light-hearted, family-friendly movie.
Mm.
But it seems more realistic than what happens here.
Also, the scale of this. They're showing one family. Like,
yeah, like there's some people you can see running. I guess there's some people running
there, but still. And that's
but like you said, for where it's at, you're in the middle of nowhere. You got maybe 1,000 people at most.
And what exactly is going on with all these vines? Because that wasn't in the like when they were showing Steppenwolf how he was born before and stuff. Like, what the hell is this?
I guess they didn't get that far.
Yeah.
Why does Batman turn? Oh, I guess it's the vines. Fair enough. It's
I'll
like, why
give
is
it
he
that.
turning towards the collapsion? But that's another one of those scenes where you're just like, if you're just watching it and you're not paying attention to it, it's a trailer movie. Like it works if it was a trailer.
Yeah.
But the moment you have to sit down and actually watch, you're like, no one cares. I guess it's also like as I'm watching it, it's hard to. They're trying to make Batman cool and make sense in this environment. And then you got characters like Aquaman who just fly in and they're able to beat the shit out of
I know.
everybody.
Yeah. Nah, you can't just throw in funny comments like that.
So here's the other thing now we're thinking of Avengers because we're just going to keep throwing Avengers out, whatever.
Yeah. I
But
mean,
like
everyone
as a
else is doing
team,
a comparison as well.
yeah, but do they work as a team together? Like, do they learn to work as a team? And I don't think they do.
No, it's almost like they're just going solo. Like, I'm off here doing this. But, like, really, what are they doing right now? Like, they're just fighting these demons, whatever. Like, no one's saying,
Yeah,
I'll distract him and do this while you go in there and do that, you know? It's just literally a free-for-all right now. They're all going towards Steppenwolf right now.
they're heading towards something in the middle. Yeah, okay, we get that. But it's like, here's a cool thing with Aquaman. Here's a cool thing with Batman.
And then the other thing you got to realize is that they're not strong enough to fight him because they've already tried, you know? Now, if this was Avengers and it was like Iron Man would know, like, we might not have Superman on our side. What do we do? So they must be coming up with another plan. But these guys are literally just going in to fight him again. But they already
That
tried
is a
to
good
fight
point.
him,
I
and
didn't
they
even
fucking
think of
lost. So,
Yeah. All right, so we're going in. This time we don't have the element of surprise.
so this
What are we
time,
going to do?
what will we do differently? Nothing. We'll just try and fight him again.
How about Wonder Woman goes in on her own? Perfect. Even the Guardians of the Galaxy, who are a bunch of a-holes, they knew they had to have a plan to fight Ronan. Here it's like, we're just going to attack. Yeah, he
So
beat the shit out of us last
this
time.
is where teamwork comes into it, I guess. They need to protect this guy while he goes and hacks the Matrix.
Which doesn't, yeah, it's another one of those weird things. You know what I'm seeing, like, as I'm watching it, you were mentioning earlier how it all just seems to be predictable, generic shots. And,
Yeah.
like, I realized the reason for that is all of these seem like they were done on different days.
Hmm.
If you watch a Guardians or you watch a uh, Avengers, they shoot things so like people seem like they're interacting and working together. Where it's like, there's Cyborg, we're gonna shoot him doing his stuff on his day. Here's Batman, we're gonna shoot him doing his stuff on his day. It doesn't seem like anybody put them together as a team,
Yeah.
put them together in pairings.
You're right, because or if they did, it was just CGI. Whereas, like, we knew with Avengers, they were all on set, and it's like having all these actors on set and enjoying themselves and shit like that. But yeah, this one, it almost could just be green screen.
It does feel like every other scene is green screen right now.
Yeah,
Well, every screen is green screen here, but you know what I mean? It's like none of them were in the room together. And because of that, there's no bonding, there's no joking, there's no laughter hitting each other off on things. Like he's literally standing on a platform shooting.
yeah.
And you're kind of thinking, you're Batman. You should be doing a hell of a lot more than that. This scene looks like it was shot any other day of the week, etc., etc. Yeah, they have no plan and they don't work together, and it's not fun to watch them.
It's not fun.
So like you've
The other thing is, like,
yeah.
what has Steppenwolf actually done to really be, like, menacing? So he's collected 3 cubes, and now,
Yep.
like, the skies turn red. But apart from that, he's literally just collected 3 cubes, and he's obviously fighting these people off, but he hasn't like destroyed a city or anything like that.
No.
He's just
And
collected.
you don't really know what he's talking about with the unity and changing the planet.
Mm.
It's like, well, what does that mean? I know it sounds bad, but unless you show it to me that he's being bad, it doesn't work.
Yeah.
Like at the very least with Loki, to go back to his example, Avengers, he kills a guy and pulls his eye out of his head, and then he makes everybody bow to him.
Yeah.
You're like, this isn't a nice fella.
Yeah.
Plus, there's no, reaction or interaction between Steppenwolf and the bad guys. Oh, here comes the mustache man.
Yeah. Here comes the mustache man. So from here onwards, there is no threat. Like, he's just fucking useless.
It's over. The movie's over now.
This is basically. This is what upset me the most about the film, was that look at him. He's just smiling at him. There is no threat anymore.
Yeah. Which, you're like, oh well, that's the point. That's where they brought Superman back. It's like, then maybe bringing Superman back should have been a little bit challenging.
Yeah, instead of just dipping him in a pool.
Yeah, throw him in the pool and get electrocuted by Flash.
Baptize.
Yeah. Why do we watch this again? I'm going to cry for the rest of the day.
This whole bit here was like my Martha bit from Batman vs Superman. It just bugged me so much. It's just like Superman doesn't even break a sweat anymore. So like, which means that this bad guy is just fucking useless. Thanos.
Yeah, he has no threat
Thanos
to him.
comes across so fucking strong. Ultron comes across so fucking strong, and Loki does, and all that lot. But this guy just comes. He's just a fucking idiot.
And even with the Loki situation, it's like, okay, they can beat Loki. Hulk smacks him around. Loki's not that problem. The problem is this giant army.
Yeah.
And this portal that they can't close.
Yeah.
So what's the solution? Iron Man has to sacrifice himself. Spoiler alert, he doesn't. He makes it out. But that's the solution. Like, but you're right. Here there's like, nobody has to worry. Superman will take care of this.
Yeah. And I my fear was that was going to happen with Captain Marvel. But anyway, this isn't a Marvel film, so.
Yeah. Like my thing, I remember we talked about when we reviewed it, and it's like, what does the rest of the team do that Superman can't do?
Yeah, that's true.
Like nothing. They don't do anything. They just keep Steppenwolf busy.
What can I? Yeah, and you mentioned it before. It's Superman and his friends. That's what it is. It's not it's not the Avengers where they all kind of work together. They're teamwork. This is just Superman and his little buddies.
Yeah. I fucking hate this movie. The more we talk about it, I'm just like, Christ.
They just threw him
spent
away
hundreds
like he
of
was
millions of dollars.
I know.
And even this thing, which is supposed to be Cyborg's bit, it's like, Superman, help me. It's like, what? This doesn't make sense to me, because if he didn't know Superman was going to be there, what was their plan? If Superman didn't arrive, how was he going to do this?
Yeah, that's
was
true.
Was Wonder Woman going to do it? Was Aquaman going to do it? It's like, Superman saved the day. Good job.
Yeah,
Thanks, friends. Yeah, like all of this, like they're not even in the same room when they're shooting this, looking up at him.
Yeah.
They couldn't even do that. They couldn't even get the two actors to come back and do that for the reshoots.
That's laziness, man. That's laziness. And then even this is the end of the film, and they're all just laughing. Like, there was Steppenwolf's just a fucking loser.
It's just so bad
I
now
know.
that we watch it again.
I know.
This is the fear I had when we were going into Infinity War and Endgame, and or not Endgame, but Infinity War and the original Avengers. Like, oh, they're gonna shit the bed. It's almost to the point where you're thinking nobody paid attention. It's like they made scenes after scenes with like 16 different directors. And everyone just sort of gave up at the end. I guess that's what it was. There was that poster at the start. I tried. You tried your best, lads. You did your best. Made Superman so colorful that he looks like the saturation was broken on your editing machine. All of this looks terrible.
Yeah, this is fucking awful.
The lighting, the smoke, the background. Super breath. At least they introduced super breath. They didn't put that in the last couple of movies.
Fear. And off.
This doesn't make sense. So you're telling me that they only attack people who are afraid?
Yeah, so they're not.
Because it looks like
They don't obey him whatsoever. That's literally all they do.
So why didn't they attack Barry like crazy? Because he was afraid the whole time, or the rest of them were afraid. I don't know.
Also, what's going on
What
right now?
the
What's making him teleport away?
He's teleporting himself away, maybe?
Yeah.
I don't know. Because there was the deleted scene where he talks to Luthor as well from Man of Steel, I think, or from Batman Superman.
Right, yeah.
Oh, she's not in the same room with them.
Nope.
Neither is he. You couldn't even get there. It is finally.
Yeah, that's the one shot they had together, and I bet you Jason Momoa is probably like photoshopped in, and so is Wonder Woman.
Yeah,
why?
It's not even.
Why? This is Hollywood again. This is those moments. Oh man.
What do you guys want to do? You want to go stand on a ledge? Yeah, let's go stand on a ledge. Why? What's going to happen? Flowers mostly. Glad I didn't miss this. What
kind
are you
of
talking
fucking
about?
lines have you got? I fear for Henry Cavill as well because he's doing The Witcher, which is that computer game, which is coming out on Netflix, but a very popular computer game. But I have a feeling it's just gonna shit the bed as well.
The way they all look at each other reminds me of like a sitcom. I was like, oh no, glad you didn't miss this. There's
that one family that lived in Chernobyl. So.
Yeah. John Chernobyl and the kids.
Now Bruce has bought the house back, which he should have done after Superman died.
Yeah. When he was there at the funeral for the grieving mother.
Yeah. Oh, and you're going to have to sell your house. I'm sorry.
I'm going to buy it and I'm going to build, another Wayne Foundation building on it. Because I don't care about people until now. I bought the bank. It's a good line.
Yeah.
Can't complain. We're at the end of the movie, man.
Yeah.
What's happened? Then Dr. Manhattan's still in jail, so what the hell? So now he's going to become the forensic scientist.
Right.
Or at least get on to becoming the forensic guy. Which is a nice nod to the comics, but you're like, why would this kid now want to be a forensic scientist?
Yeah, out of nowhere. Just like, all right, give it a go.
And there's Lois, and she's like, I wonder if Superman's going to come back. Yeah, you saw him. You're on the farm, idiot.
Gave his secret away many times.
Clark, are you going to go save the world as Superman today? What did she say?
No, you're out to lunch with Batman.
So now he's like making the Hall of Justice or whatever.
But little do they know, he's already handed his resignation in. So it's like, I don't want to be Batman anymore.
It's like, room for more, Alf. They might make a sequel. Are you excited?
Oh, God. Well,
oh, God.
I'm
that
excited
looks even
to rage again.
What?
There we go. This is
They made him look even worse. Aquaman and the flying fish.
Almost knocked out a whale there.
He runs a bit weird, doesn't he?
No. Yeah, I know. I was just going to say that. That's kind of funny.
I guess it's like it's kind of turned it into, again, the Marvel world. It's like they're colorful, they're bright. Here's the costumes, here's the characters.
They are doing Wonder Woman 2, though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And as much as, like you were saying, people in the comments, if you think this is the greatest movie ever made, let us know. Let us know why you think it is, because we just bitched on it forever and ever. Here they're doing the tribute to Christopher Reeve. Can't complain about this.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill finally gets to be Superman for 5 seconds.
And you know what? When he heard about, you're going to be the next Superman, that's probably what he thought about. The first thing was probably that. And that's the last time we'll see Henry Cavill as Superman. And
yeah.
Man, I can't believe that film is over. Like, first of all, it took way too long to get there.
It's only an hour 50, though. I was worried it was getting close to 3 hours.
Oh, God. But just poor storytelling, poor characters, and poor timing as well. Like we mentioned, half an hour into it, that's when we saw Steppenwolf, and they still needed to really bond the characters and introduce a couple of them. So they did it to themselves, you know.
Yeah. Well, what I was saying is, if you think it is a great movie, and you let us know in the comments. At the same time, there was nobody who was looking for a sequel.
No.
There was no calls for like, oh, I can't wait for the next one, or I can't wait to what's going to happen. It's like when this was over, everyone's like, right, that's good. Henry Cavill and his fake mustache can go to bed and die. Superman is done.
These guys
and this was a nice
classic
like,
race.
This was another superhero-y moment. Yeah, this was a proper comic moment.
Yeah, they do this in Smallville as well.
Oh yeah, I remember that. They did it with Kid Flash or whatever it is. God damn, that mustache is terrible. That's all I can look at. It just sucks you in like a black hole.
So many times.
It's also like a cheap laugh because it's, you know, who's going to win. You never know who's going to win. And then you're like, oh, we'll talk about it later.
Yeah.
Superman's cape's fake, by the way. Do you know that? It's all CG.
Oh, that's kind of...
Sometimes it looks good. Sometimes it looks bad.
Sometimes it looks too ripply. Like there's too much wind going on. But yeah. Huh.
Look at that mustache, though.
Look at that mustache. Yeah.
But like I was saying, like even if you do like this movie, I don't think anybody wanted to see another one.
No, I don't think so. No one was calling for it. Like, we need to see Justice League 2, bring it on, petition. I think now that Cavill and Affleck are gone, I think people are just like hoping that they're going to fix their shit. So there's going to be an Aquaman 2 for sure. There's going to be a Wonder Woman 2. And then where they go with that, I don't think they're doing Flash. Did you say they cancelled it?
I think, yeah, because it was supposed to come out this year.
So however they fix that. But it does sound like they're on the up because you said Shazam, even though that's a different type of film and even like it's more of a comedy, I'm guessing. But you said that was still storytelling. It was quite good.
And it was in this universe. It's a universe where these characters all exist, yeah.
Cool, yeah. Well,
but like DC have just decided to get rid of the whole continuity. They're making early Batman and they're making that Joker movie, Joaquin Phoenix.
Yeah.
And Harley Quinn's getting a movie. Suicide Squad's getting rebooted.
That's right, yeah.
I think they learned their lesson that they can't tell a story.
Is Suicide getting rebooted or is it a just a sequel?
I heard it was reboot.
Oh, okay.
Like getting recasting Will Smith.
I know they've recasted like Will Smith and I just wasn't sure, yeah. Interesting.
But that doesn't make sense then because the Harley Quinn movie is Harley Quinn.
I know.
From the original Suicide Squad dealing with her breakup from the Joker.
And it's important to keep those actors because that's obviously what people remember on screen. And it feels like they just don't care when they're like, oh, it's all right, someone else can play Joker and someone else can play this. It's like, yeah, but people are going to... Like, if Harley Quinn takes off and it's a great movie, then you've already kicked your Suicide Squad in the face because they've got a different Harley Quinn, you know? So
yeah, and you've got a different Joker now because they're getting rid of what's his name? Jared Leto.
Jared Leto, yeah. So like, and that's what Marvel did so well. They kept all the characters together. They kind of lucked out / chose the right people. Obviously, Hemsworth and Chris Evans and Robert Downey Jr. like awesome actors. Awesome, they portrayed those characters awesomely. But can you imagine if they did the Avengers, but Hemsworth wasn't Thor in it? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
it's just like it doesn't work.
It's hard to critique but like the Marvel standard is high.
Yeah,
I'm not saying it's the best movie out there that you can't do better, but like that's the bar right now. That's the standard.
It is. Yeah.
So you've had Downey Jr.'s Iron Man for 10 years, and they've done $1 billion every time they've made an Avengers movie.
Yeah,
like DC have to be aiming for that.
Yeah, for sure. And baby steps. Like don't. Like, I think what they were doing with Justice League is they shot themselves in the foot because they wanted to have that epic film where they were all together in one movie. But baby steps, like do a good Aquaman 2, do a good Wonder Woman 2, then introduce, you know, if you, God forbid, if you have to redo Superman again, but just do it good. And then in like 5 to 7 to 10 years, then you've got your Avenger moment, you know, and go for it. So... but don't just go, oh, we're going to do another Justice League in three years, you know? Because
Yeah, like this came out 2 years ago, and I think it was only recently Zack Snyder was saying, "Oh yeah, there's a version of his movie that's out there, his cut, and that might be coming out and such and such." And it's like, yeah, I don't think so.
I don't think people care enough, to be honest. So
No,
yeah,
the final numbers on this movie worldwide were 600, I think 700 million.
oh shit, that's
Yeah.
that's actually pretty low for what they've like. How it must have cost a shit ton because of all the CGI.
Well, the way a movie works is that you take the budget of the movie and then you double it. That's a rough way of estimating, because you have how much it costs to put everybody in a room with green screen and make them do their shit, and then you have to double it because that's how much the marketing is. So the bigger the movie, the more marketing you do, the more global you do it.
Yeah,
So if you spend 10 million on a movie, you're probably going to spend about 10 million to market it. Maybe. But if you're spending the money on this film, which is estimated at somewhere like $300 million,
yeah,
you're spending at least that much to market it, so people are going to go watch it on the opening weekend.
yeah.
But the estimates are, like, this is from, like, you can never tell. The studio will never confirm it. But the estimate is that because of the reshoots on this and the way it was marketed and how much they pumped it in, that this movie lost money.
Oh man, I mean, in a way I can kind of believe that.
So you made a Justice League movie and you lost money.
That's bad. That's bad.
Yeah. And like I said, it didn't even make big money for Hollywood standards. 700 million isn't even $1 billion movie.
I know.
Whereas we're looking at Avengers Endgame. Again, it's not fair to compare it, but the level Marvel are at now, they're making the #1 movie in history.
Of course, so kicking ass, but like, what was it? Aquaman did do well for them, like for DC, didn't it?
Yeah. But when, like, the Captain Marvel movie makes more money than your Justice League movie,
I know.
there's something wrong there.
Something definitely wrong.
And Endgame is, I think it's getting close to 1.5 billion already. It's been out 2 weeks.
Good lord. Yeah, good for them.
Probably more than that.
Good for them.
Actually, no, so it's probably going to get close to 2 billion by the end of this weekend, because it's opening up in Russia as well.
Oh wow.
But like, what I'm saying is, if you have that level, whatever about the quality or whatever about the characters, that level of success, it's not hard to understand that DC are like, we want that, we want to make that much money.
Yeah.
But you can't do it the way you've been doing it. It's like you said, baby steps. Also, they needed somebody who was going to guide that Kevin Feige, that guy who's going to be like taking the different directors and putting them together. They put everything on Zack Snyder's shoulders.
Yeah.
And whatever about him as a director, I just don't think he's got the vision to create a world like this.
I know. Yeah, it definitely fell short. Where he just relies on CGI a lot. So, and just some of the scenes just doesn't come through like that. But yeah, like you said, creating a world and making it believable. Yeah, just unfortunately just lacking. I'm sorry that we had to watch that, but
yeah, I'm just checking it now. The Age of Ultron's the lowest ranking Avengers movie, and that made $1.4 billion.
Here's our after credit scene. I didn't know if you were still playing it. Are you still playing?
Oh yeah, and Marvel's The Avengers, which came out 5 years before this, made $1.5 billion.
Oh wow.
So why in the name of sweet Jesus wouldn't you just copy what they did?
I know.
I guess they tried to with Joss Whedon. Wait a minute. That's not Bryan Cranston.
Oh.
You know what? That could be Lex Luthor. I don't know. Haven't seen the other movie in so long.
Yeah.
So Lex got out. Even though you would assume... I guess it's Lex Luthor. He's probably smart enough to outsmart Bruce Wayne, but... Holy shit, this end scene doesn't make sense at all.
This is Deadshot, is it?
Uh, not Deadshot. Yeah, Deadshot. Yeah,
Deadshot.
yeah. He's like, oh, we got to start our own evil society. Joe Magligiano.
Yeah.
Never pronounce his name. He looks good. Like, I gotta say, they look good, but between this and Suicide Squad, and I forgot Suicide Squad is technically in this universe, but it doesn't connect to this movie.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you're just like, where are we in this universe? We went from a world that was amazed that Superman exists to suddenly, oh no, there's superheroes. There's always been superheroes. There's gods. There's Green Lanterns. Oh my god, we've been ranting for 2 hours. I'll probably still keep going.
And
All right,
it's
let's
over.
make it. Let's end on something positive. My favorite moment. Momoa sitting on the golden lasso of truth.
Yeah, that's
That was
funny. Yeah.
Worst moment. Everything else.
Everything else, yeah. I think I'm the same. Like, it's those little comedy bits. I think as silly a moment as it is, it's Batman throwing the little disc at Flash, him going out the way.
Yeah.
And then, honestly, the worst moment is just the film in general. It's just...
I think the first time I watched it, I gave it a pass. Or not a pass, but I was like, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
So you have that like, oh, what's the next scene? Oh, here's a new joke. Here's a thing. So you're in that mode of like absorbing it.
Yeah.
But now that I know what was going to happen and where it was going, that when I'm watching again, I'm just like, this is not fun.
No, that's the thing. It needs to be fun to watch again. Like, people like to rewatch films, and when they do, they look forward to their scenes or their characters on the screen. Right from the start, we were just like, how long is left? It's just like, that's not a good sign when you're watching a film.
No. But at least we found the answer to the question of why Batman killed that parademon and he left the 3 boxes on the wall.
Of course, yeah. That's that was the biggest thing, wasn't it?
Yeah, the way they explained that and like really got everything tied together in the end was great.
But as we've been,
how did they get everything wrong? They got everything wrong.
There was like there's boxes to tick, and they didn't tick any of them.
No, it didn't even get Superman to hug his mother. There's something wrong with you.
Sick fucks. And we're not talking to you guys,
well,
not the fans.
No,
Just
no.
I'm just talking to you.
The fans of the movie or the fans of us, it doesn't matter. But whoever it is, I'm glad you sat through all of this.
Let us know.
Whiny,
Let us know in the comments as
man
well.
Boy
Let us
crying.
know what your favorite scene, what your worst scene was. How would you fix it? Or was it fine as it is? And if it was,
Yeah.
then shame on you. But no, as awful as it was to watch, it was still fun to chat about and get it up on the channel.
Yeah.
Plenty more to come. Let us know what other films you'd like us to commentary as well.
Yeah, and we got our Game of Thrones tomorrow.
Game of Thrones
Jesus.
tomorrow, boys. Yeah, hopefully that gets.
The week is flying through.
Hopefully that gets better.
Oh God, it's all turning dark. All right, thanks everybody for listening to us.
Yeah, cheers, boys.